Hey guys, it's Jade. It is Tuesday the 27th and I wrote again today. I can't believe that I have written every day for 5 days in a row now. I actually just got a badge for that. I didn't realize that there were badges for like number of days in a row until I had taken multiple breaks. This was the first time that I have written for 5 days in a row. That's really exciting. I'm glad I at least got that badge. The other badges, I don't think I'm going to be eligible to get. One of them is to write every day for the whole month. Definitely not getting that. And I think the other one is probably 10 days. And I mean, there's not going to be 10 days left. So this is the only badge for number of days in a row I'm going to get, but I'm excited that I got it. Today was a success. It took longer than I thought it would, but I did two 25-minute sprints on my own. The first one, I only got 498 words, which is not great for me for a 25-minute sprint, but I just was having a hard time getting started. That was when I was like finishing the end of the last scene that I had written yesterday, and I just wasn't really sure what I wanted to say in it. And then I did another 25-minute sprint and I got 845 words. And then I took a long break because I needed to eat dinner and I got distracted. I ended up joining Ben Sanders for a sprint. It was just a 10-minute sprint, but it got me that last little bit of words I needed to reach my goal for the day, so for another 424 words, and that brings my total to 1,767 words. That brings my total manuscript to 44,809, which is still 200 words behind being completely caught up because I was supposed to be at 45,000, but 200 words is nothing, so I'm not worried about that. But I can't believe how close to the end I am. I mean, I've done almost 5,000 words in a day and I have 3 days left to do it. And so I'm really excited. The end is in sight. The only problem is coming up with new scenes to write. Anyways, I'm gonna call it a night and I am gonna go get ready for bed and watch an episode of Game of Thrones with my husband. I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Hey guys, it's Wednesday. I wrote another day in a row. I can't believe it. I did some more live write-ins today. They're definitely helping me, especially towards the end right now. First, I started with Al from Patchwork Nerds write-in, because today's Wednesday and she's been doing them every Wednesday. I did a 15-minute sprint with her and got 459 words, followed by a 30-minute sprint with 774 words. And then I did 3 10-minute sprints with Ben Sanders after that. I did 376, 397, and 204, bringing my grand total for today up to 2,210, which is more than my minimum that I needed to meet, and it also brought me to a total of 47,000 words for my manuscript, so I only have 3K left, which is crazy. And also, today is the first day of this whole month that I am officially past the daily goal. Okay, so today's goal was only 46,666, so I went over that by like 400 words. It feels so good. It is the first day that I have been over that line in the graph, and I'm so happy with that. I wanted to actually write a little bit more because if I can, I want to finish Nano tomorrow, because I found out today, or I realized today, that I have to leave to go out of town on Friday. For some reason, I had my cousin's wedding in my phone calendar and in my planner for next weekend, but I found out today that it's in like 3 days. So I'm not going to be able to write after work. I mean, I possibly could. Maybe I could like write in the car on the way to where the wedding is and then like update all my Nano stuff once I get to the hotel. I would much prefer to finish tomorrow so that I don't have to worry about it at all on Friday. So I kind of wish I had written a little bit more today, but I'm tired. It is 11 o'clock. I am ready for bed, and I wrote over my minimum already, and I think I'm happy with that. I am in the middle of a scene that I kind of know what's going to happen next, so that'll be helpful tomorrow for jumping right in. What I've been doing since I got to the end of my plot is going back and adding scenes from the sister's point of view, so I only have like 4 or 3 of them right now, so I need to think up, I think, at least 2 more to get to 3,000, maybe 4 more. I also ended up adding in an epilogue. Not really sure how much I like the epilogue or really how much it's necessary, but I did it. I needed the words. I've been asking multiple people for advice when it comes to running out of plot before the 50K, which I know is like a problem not a lot of people have, but I'm a newbie. This is my first manuscript ever. And a lot of them mentioned beefing up subplots. And that really got me thinking because I definitely am lacking in subplots. And I know that I can go and beef those up. I originally had wanted to go and add more description to like my scenes because I know I'm lacking in that as well. But I kind of thought that going in and adding a sentence or two here and a few words there for description would actually take longer than just going in and writing new zero draft scenes, because I would be having to like read the scene and think about what I want it to look like and then add the descriptions in. So I think I'm going about it the better way for me, especially because I know that these are scenes that I'm gonna have to add anyways. I just didn't want to have to think about them yet, but what are you gonna do? I also, of course, did consider just calling it quits and saying I did my first draft of the manuscript and I met my goal, but I'm so close to that 50K. I have really wanted it all month, and I definitely understand that the number isn't everything, and even if I don't make 50K, that doesn't mean this month was a waste or anything like that, but it doesn't change the fact that I really wanted to get to the 50K, and especially because I'm so close. Like 3,000 words, I can totally do that in one day. If I didn't make it, I would be disappointed in myself. But regardless, I'm still really happy with what I've done so far. I just don't want to give up so close to the end. Alright guys, so that's my update for today. I will check in with you tomorrow, and hopefully I'm going to be finishing Nano tomorrow. I'm so ready for this month to be over. Alright, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye. Hey guys, so NaNoWriMo is over, and I didn't actually vlog the last 2 days, so I'm going to do a quick little wrap up here. I said in my last clip that I sort of unexpectedly had to go out of town on the last day of NaNoWriMo, and so I wanted to try and finish writing on Thursday so that I could just be done with it before I left to go out of town. Well, on Thursday, I realized that it was actually more important for me to finish editing my week 3 NaNoWriMo vlog over finishing writing, because I could finish writing on the road, but I could not finish editing and uploading that video on the road. So what happened is that on Thursday, I did sit down and write for a little while. I didn't want to break my writing everyday streak, and I wrote about 600 words. I basically finished out the scene that I had started the day before, and then I stopped to finish editing the video and told myself that I would go back to writing if I finished in time. Well, of course, editing the video took the rest of that day and I wasn't able to write anymore. And then on Friday, I worked all day and then we left to go out of town, and I did finish writing the remaining words that I had while I was in the car on my way to go out of town. I even hotspotted my phone to the NaNoWriMo website while we were on the road so that I could update my word count and validate my words to like officially win. I did take a little clip of that and I'll insert that here for you guys.
Okay guys, I just hit 5,000 words not too long ago. I am actually in the car. I'm headed down to Galveston for a family wedding, and so I had to do my last bit of writing in the car. I'll film another update later, but I just wanted to film me doing my validation. So according to Scrivener, I got up to 50,051 words. So let's see what this website, or what NaNoWriMo will say. Validate. Congratulations! I am so stoked. I can't believe I won NaNoWriMo! Alright, I will do like an actual update in a little while. Bye.
So yeah, I won NaNoWriMo. I cannot believe it. I was so happy when I finally finished. The few days leading up to the last day, I was pretty sure I was going to finish, but there was always that little bit of doubt that I might not do it. So I was very happy to officially win. As a way to like wrap up all of this NaNoWriMo madness, I thought that I would talk about a few things that I feel like I learned this month. The first thing I learned is that I can win NaNoWriMo. It's not impossible for me. One of the reasons why I wanted to do NaNoWriMo was just to prove to myself that it's something that I could do. Another thing that I learned is that as much as I wanted to try and plan out everything ahead of time, it's just impossible to plan out all of the details at the level of detail needed to be able to write the first draft. Writing a book or a story is just one of those things that has to come in layers. I talked about it a little bit in that clip where I talked about Marie Lu and how she said she's a headlights writer, and I just really identified with that and the idea of with only being able to see a few feet in front of you, but you just gotta keep on going and eventually you'll get to the end. I'm still really glad I did all of the preparation that I did, because without it, I definitely would not have made it to the end. But going into NaNoWriMo, I was really worried that I didn't have enough of an outline, and in the future, I'm not gonna let that worry me as much, because it's just impossible to have enough of an outline, at least in the amount of detail that I wanted, and I just need to be okay with going with the flow and doing some pantsing, which before this month absolutely terrified me. But now that I've gotten through NaNoWriMo, I have a lot more confidence in my pantsing skills and I've just learned not to let the unknown stop me from getting started. This month also has proven to me that the more ideas you get, those ideas are going to generate new ideas. I mean, part of the whole reason why I've never wanted to write before is that I am not the kind of person who just has a bunch of stories bubbling out of me that I want to tell. So it's really a struggle for me to even come up with a story. But the more I thought about different ideas, those ideas started to build on one another. And that just proved to me that you have to start putting it out there, like putting those ideas out there and start thinking about those ideas before you'll get more and more ideas. And eventually, the idea that you end up with is going to be so completely different from what you even started with. But you couldn't have gotten to the end of that without the ideas that you had in the beginning. While I was doing NaNoWriMo, I actually got like nuggets of ideas for other stories, for fantasy stories. I would just be watching something or reading something and ideas would pop into my head, and that used to never happen to me, and I think the only reason why it was happening was because I was actively working on a story. I really am starting to think that creativity is like a muscle, and the more you use it, the more creative you can get. NaNoWriMo was such a roller coaster of emotions for me. While I did have some highs where I got like an exciting idea or I was feeling good about what I was writing, there were definitely a lot of lows where I was like, what am I doing? Why am I putting myself through this? Do I even want to write a book? Like, why am I doing this to myself? And even my husband would point out that I didn't seem like I was having that much fun. And it's true, looking back, I'm not sure how much fun I was really having, and I have a few different ideas about this. One that I've already talked about in some of my vlogs is that I'm hoping I'm gonna like revisions better. The reason why I think I might like revisions better is that I really like the editing process of videos. I like taking raw footage that is fairly mediocre and being able to splice it up and take out all of my flubs and rambling that nobody needs to hear and putting it back together and making something better than what it originally was. So because I like that about the video process, I'm hoping that's going to translate to the writing process, and then I'm going to like editing my writing and revising it. The other thing is that maybe I don't love my story as much as I should to be able to have fun with it. What I mean by that is when I was creating this story from scratch, I was trying to create something that wasn't too intimidating. A story that sounded like something I would enjoy writing, but was also easy. And that's why I chose a zombie story, because I didn't have to come up with this whole new world. It has a fairly contemporary setting with something fantastical to make it a little bit interesting, but it's something that I thought that would be not necessarily easy to do, but easier to do than like a high fantasy or something. But maybe what I really need is to write a high fantasy, something that is more fun, something that isn't just like a stepping stone for me to learn how to write something, and more a story that I really, really love. I thought a little bit about tweaking the story that I have now, maybe making it into a fantasy, because there were a few moments where I felt a little bit restricted by our real world circumstances, but I'm not really sure if I want to take that step yet. Maybe I'm going to keep revising the story as it is and brainstorming a fantasy for my next project. Okay, so let's talk about my future plans for this project. I plan to not look at it for the next month, maybe two, because Kate Kavanaugh, who is an author tuber that I really like, says that she thinks 2 months is the perfect amount of time for you to be able to come back with fresh eyes. I'm not particularly antsy to get back to this project because drafting it was such an ordeal, and I'm hoping that in 1 or 2 months I will be excited about it again. And also, between now and then, I'm going to think about if maybe I want to turn it into a different genre, like a fantasy or something. So next year, I do plan to revisit the story and to start the revision process, because this is a learning project for me, and part of learning how to write a book is also learning how to revise a book. I definitely plan to utilize both Camp Nanos next year to work on revisions. During those months, I'm mostly going to be looking at big picture edits, figuring out scenes that I need, scenes that I don't need, adding in a lot of details that I realized I didn't have while I was fast drafting, or at least making notes of those details. During the camps, I don't think I'm actually going to be doing any real writing. I'm just going to be brainstorming and looking at how to structure it and coming up with new scenes and things. And then my plan is in next November, I want to do a total rewrite based on fixing the problems that I saw that I had. I have no idea if next year is really going to pan out that way, but as of right now, that's kind of what I want to do, is spend the first part of the year, particularly the 2 camps, planning my revision, and then in November next year actually doing a rewrite, because I know this book probably needs to be rewritten. Anyways, I want to thank everybody for following me on this NaNoWriMo journey. It was quite the ride, and I'm not sure what to make of it still. If you guys did NaNoWriMo this year, let me know down in the comment sections how you did. Did you meet your goals? Did you finish a manuscript? Did you win? Let me know how it went for you, because I would love to know. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you like bookish content. I mostly talk about books, but occasionally I guess a writing video slips in. That is all I have for now. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bookworms, keep reading. Bye.